Hi, this is Jaromir again. In this video I will show you what will happen if you lose all nodes from your S2D cluster. So this is just I'm just continuing from previous video where we lose one node and we actually replaced this node with a new operating system. So what we will do now, we will lose everything. So we will unexpectedly shut down entire cluster just by stopping all nodes. So it means that now failover cluster is down and you have nothing, just pile of disks. So let's change the operating systems. This will simulate the reinstallation, and we will basically shuffle the disks the way that S2D1 will have disks from the new S2D1. S2D2 will have disk from S2D2. New S2D2, so it will be effectively reinstalled. So let's check it. In settings you will see that there is a new S2D2 VHDX. So we switch all operating system. So the next step will be to shuffle the disks, because what can happen that someone in your data center will just pull the disks from the old servers. He will not know down where the disks actually were located and just plug it somewhere. So imagine someone will put it into the box, ship it to this disaster recovery data center, and just turn on the machines. So this is what we will actually do. Actually, this script is doing it. If I'll just now open one of the nodes, we should already see something. Oh, let's go to the settings. So as you can see, some of the disks are already mixed. So this is node S2D2, and this disk is coming from S2D4, and it's number 8. So it's being mixed. The script will effectively do 20 iterations of randomly selecting 2 nodes, and then from each node it will randomly select one drive and switch it in between 2 nodes. And the last step will be to turn on the nodes. Therefore, this will be the clean OS install. So we have clean operating system, and in each node we have randomly selected drives. Therefore, the next thing will be to modify these variables in a scenario script. So in the domain controller, I will open up the PowerShell ISE, where I have script from the S2D cluster. Either we can modify it here, which is probably the best. So we are supposed to modify the new S2D here, and the server names prefix. Then S2D cluster 1 and S2D class 1 CAU for cluster level updating. So this will be an entirely new cluster. The next step will be to run all these sections, and enable cluster S2D will be done after that. So what I will do now, I'll copy this. I'll wait for nodes to boot, which will take again some time. And after that, I will paste this script into this window. So let me just pause this video recording until the nodes will be up and running, and I will be ready to paste the script. So the nodes booted. I'll quickly validate if everything is fine. So let me just add this new S2D1 to S2D4, just to validate if everything is right. Yeah, it's okay. So we are ready to paste this section. Okay, copy again. And this will take a little bit of time because we will need to reboot the machines. So I'll just pause the video and resume. So this is 3:51 p.m. Let me pause this. So the script just finished. It took, let's say, 12 minutes. Let's double check what happened. Let's connect to the cluster. There's a new cluster called S2D cluster 1. And it should be configured. So we should see 4 nodes. Let's see if we'll see some storage. Okay, there is a cluster disk 1 to 8, which are offline, called mirror accelerated parity. But there is no pool, or is it? Oh, there is a pool. And physical disks are becoming ready or missing, so completely messed up. Networks are there, so everything is configured from this point of view. So the next step would be to enable cluster S2D. Let's do it. So what we should see is it should recognize the cluster should recognize the disks, and actually it should put cluster pool online. Even the disks should go online. So let's see. So we found 12 disks on each node, which is great. And documentation here, I somehow messed up when I was writing the scripts, the mixing the drives. Therefore, in the scenario, I missed 2 disks in S2D3. But anyway, it worked. So let's see how it will work here. So cluster pool should go online soon. The metadata will be recognized by the S2D. Therefore, we'll be able to see the data. Come on. Yeah, it's getting online. All disks are healthy. There's some used space already. Disks are getting online also. So come on. Yep, it's getting online. So these starting health providers take a little bit of time. It started to happen like, I don't know, half year ago. Before that it was a bit faster, so not sure what happened. But yeah, it's done. So unfortunately this is not very useful and we don't have any VMs here. So if you lost your cluster and now you are trying to rebuild it, you may want to also rebuild the disks and to add it to correct mount points instead of just guessing where was what. So let's do it the complicated way. The easy way would be just add it into the cluster share volumes and import all the disks. I mean, import all the VMs. But to have it the same way as we had it before, let's use some scripts. So there's one piece of script. I'll just put it into multiple portions. I'll just copy this portion, and this one will make the disks. So it will basically remove all the disks to be able to match the virtual disk name, and then add one disk by one, and actually rename the name of the disk to the format which is being used when you create a new virtual disk. So it will be called cluster virtual disk and then name of the volume. There's also other part, and I'll probably modify the script as we are speaking now. Let me open up the PowerShell code where I keep my scripts. So it should be in files here, and it's disaster recovery, right? So In the README, I have here to import the disks. Sometimes it happens that if you are importing the VMs, um, if you import the VMs, it may fail because the machine can already exist or something. So that's why I'm adding error action silently continue. The same I will do and to here to add cluster virtual machine role. Anyway, why I'm doing this? Because if you start importing the VMs, and I will show you this with the older code and also with the newer code, is that the first VMs may or may not be imported because the first node doesn't have enough memory. Because we try to, or at least I try to keep the lab as small as possible. Therefore, the nodes are, around 1 gig of memory. So this is like, this will not happen probably in the real world, that you will have problem with importing the machines. But in the lab, it happened to me. So that's why I just, added this erection silently continue. And I can show you how I do this. So if I'll commit this, let me just save it and say I'm just committing it to the code, fix, commit all, and sync. So what I can do, I can copy this and try to paste it here, but after refresh, I will have the new version that I edited in the Visual Studio Code. So now we are also renaming the drives because it's volume 2, for example, in this case, but we want to have paths that are easily identified, that can be easily identified. So let me go to S2D cluster 1 backslash cluster storage and backslash, and let's see, now it's being renamed. So the code is now renaming the volumes, so it will match the virtual disk name. See, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be probably party and so on. Because we have VMs there, and we would like to see the very same naming everywhere. So I guess this should be done normally on all clusters. So now what I will do is I will import the VMs. We may see some errors, right? That's why I committed this error action silently continue, because on the second round what we will do is that we'll run the command again just to again import it. So there is error action silently continue. See, that's not because of configuration errors, but it's because we don't have enough memory, I guess. So what I will do now, I will a little bit increase the memory of this VM just by modifying the settings, and I'll, instead of, because we are using dynamic memory in here, I should probably use static, but let's increase the buffer. Instead of 20%, I will say 200%, and it will immediately grow the memory of the machine. So we should no longer see any issues importing the machines. So what's happening now? We are basically on the node 1 importing the machines from the CSV. So it's searching for the machine's configuration and then using import VM, importing this machine's configuration. But it also means you have to have your machines correctly in the folders. So configuration is in the virtual machines, and also a hard disk is in virtual hard disks folder. And if you will have this, it will be without any issues. Also, the machine has to be connected to the switch that exists on the node. And if you have different name, then you have to fix it in the configuration. So as you can see, there are a few VMs missing due to the memory uh, size of the first VM. So I will just let this script. I will just add these machines as highly available. Yeah. So now we will add the machines here one by one. In the real world, you would probably also turn the machines on, but as soon as I'm doing it in my laptop and I didn't enable nested virtualization for the VMs, which is actually pretty easy. You just specify in the lab config nested virt equals true, and then the machines, the nodes that will be created will have the virtual machine extensions exposed. So it's just one configuration that is possible to set. So yeah, you should see some machines soon. So we have four disk of each kind. So we have 4 mirror volumes and 4 mirror accelerated parity volumes. Okay, so it looks like it's almost finished. So it's 4, just last one machine. And what we will do now again is to run the script again just to import the VMs again, because we want to have the first few VMs imported. So 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, okay, done. Because we specified error action silently continue, we will not see these errors. And yeah, now we should see all the roles here. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1. So all VMs are here. I guess the cluster is successfully recovered. And the last thing would be probably to copy the extents across the cluster, so it will be again highly available, because because we mixed all the disks around. You may want to place the slabs into the correct place. So what I'll do, I will run this job to optimize storage pool, and I'll also run a separate PowerShell window, and I will show you how to monitor this job. Okay, so let me just paste this. So optimization is hopefully running, or not yet. Not yet. Let's see. I'm a bit stressing my machine. Hopefully the machines will not go into the post. I just ran out of the space. So this is it. So I guess I will have to clean up my drive. So you would probably see something like that. But as I run out of space, my DC is still running, which is nice because it didn't expand the VHD. So this is a new feature to 2016. If you are out of space, then only the machine that is requiring more space will go to post critical. The machine that doesn't require anything, is not expanding, is kept running. So this is it. I guess I should clean up my environment like that. And as I no longer need it, let's say, go and get rid of it. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. machines are gone. Bye.